We just recently returned from a 7-day European trip, and we wanted to share some ideas and suggestions about traveling with friends.
Yeah, it was fun. It definitely changes the nature of the trip. We had a really good time. It was great to be able to share a trip with someone, and so all the stories that happen to you when you're on a trip like that, you get to share with more than one person. You kind of nudge and wink at each other because you'll always have those same memories
Inside jokes.
and inside jokes. Exactly.
I would suggest before you go on a 7-day trip with friends, do an overnighter or maybe a 2 or 3-day trip. Because 7 days is,
It's a commitment.
it's a commitment.
Yeah, and we did both actually, didn't we?
We did. We did the 1-night trip. We did a 3-night trip. And then we all decided, yeah, we can do 7 days with these people.
Kind of like a test drive before you buy a new car.
And it was kind of our 1-day trip was the best because that was just 24 hours of eating pizza, wasn't it?
Yes. Well,
Pizza. Who likes pizza?
I know, but who does that?
I think the critical part about the 24-hour trip is we rented an Airbnb, but we shared a bathroom. And we didn't know how that was going to work out. The shared living space was great. We each had our own bedroom, but there was like, how will this work with another couple in a shared bathroom? And I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah, that is a good point. I did stress that one a little bit, but it did work out.
Well, that's because it was important to you. And that's one of the things about taking a trip with couples. You have to, before you go, it's helpful to understand like what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And just make sure that everybody knows. And then if everyone's kind of a go with the flow and wants everyone else to enjoy the trip too, then it makes it easy. But I remember it was like, all right, we're in the same bathroom. So who showers in the morning and who showers at night? That became important.
Yeah, and the other piece is knowing that when you are on the trip, you will be doing different things, and some things
Right.
more or less important to the folks in your group. But the neat thing is you actually find out you may like something that you didn't know you'd like, or you're exposed to something you haven't been exposed to before, and it's really fun and exciting.
Yeah. We had that experience this trip to Italy where, Wayne really wanted to go to Vesuvius and see the aftermath of the eruption way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's fine. We can do that. But that was not before we left, that was not the most important part of the trip for
You
me.
were like, yes, we're going to
I
Pompeii.
can't wait for Pompeii. But Pompeii was the best part of the trip for me. I was the most surprising and probably amongst the best part of the trip for me. And
That's
so,
a good point, is the compatibility. You have to have some type of compatibility. Who you're going with want to enjoy their trip, but they get enjoyment out of watching you enjoy your trip. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I think also it was important. I remember you talking to me specifically about, okay, we're going to find accommodations. Like if we were going to rate it on cleanliness, neighborhood, walkability, there were all these different criteria. You and I talked about what is our number one or our number two thing, so that when one of us is searching or both on our own, we kind of knew what the other person what was important to them too. So we were more prepared when we shared our housing results.
Yeah, and I would say the one thing that we did that I would recommend doing is each have your own space. And it was nice to have your own bathroom because we were late nights, early mornings. It just made it super convenient. I guess it's not a have to, it's just more of a convenient thing.
for sure. I mean, when I was 20, I would have shared a bed. Like I didn't care. Like we were just hanging out. It didn't matter, but I weighed half what I weigh now. And, but now as I'm older, I'd rather have our own bedroom and just be able to hang out.
But I loved having that shared space.
Yeah,
The living space where we could have a coffee in the evening, or we could have an aperitif and just kind of talk about the day and what were our highlights. That was really enjoyable to have our own space where we could kick off our shoes, have our slippers on, and feel at home.
No, I thought that was good too. The shared living area, kitchen, whatever.
And that would sometimes lead to a late night trip out for gelato or something like that. So, hey, you want to go? Yeah.
Yep. And then I have transportation as something to discuss. Do you guys have any thoughts on transportation?
Well, I think one of the things that we have similar We're at the same kind of point in time in our lives athletically, so that we didn't have like two of us are like, yeah, let's climb Kilimanjaro, let's do it. And the other two are like, no, or let's bicycle all over the city. And the other two were like, no.
Yeah.
So I thought the fact that we were both, we wanted to walk a lot, but we also wanted to realize that after 18,000 steps, maybe we ought to take an Uber or something like that. So I thought we were really compatible in that way.
Well, even nightlife, going out and partying and hitting the nightclubs and dancing wasn't
Who
something
did that?
either one of us wanted to do.
You went to bed early. I'm just saying.
But I mean, I think having the discussion about what your expectations are is
Yeah.
really important, because there wouldn't have been a problem
I agree.
if one of us wanted to do that. That's fine, but then we would have to be realistic about our launch times in the morning. And so at least having that discussion, the willingness to be transparent and communicate, well, this is what I'd love to see happen. This is what I'm okay with. We can't do this. And knowing what everyone's
Yeah.
maximum limits was very helpful.
I agree.
But I think to be fair, we kind of knew that going in. So it wasn't like,
Yeah.
it wasn't something we had to explore when we were in the field. We weren't making that decision in Rome. Like, I don't know, I'm
Yeah.
going to stay out till midnight.
No, we had discussed that even before
Right,
planning the
exactly.
trip together.
No, I think it's the communication part is paramount
Mm-hmm.
to something like this, because I know that Kelley and I sometimes just wanted to hang out without our loved one.
With a hot chocolate.
So we did a late night. We did not a late night, but an evening, an after dinner shopping spree in the rain, because our husbands were just like, it's raining. We've had a long day. We're going to chill here at the house. And we did go out together.
Well, we'd love to go on a shopping spree. Maybe not tonight.
But it was nice to have a buddy, because sometimes traveling alone, especially in a foreign country, I would have felt a little more insecure all by myself. But having someone with me, like if my phone gets dead, or if I get lost, or if there's somebody else, who can help. And I think having that buddy was a real bonus.
And it's nice to have some additional time, unplanned time in the trip where you can do that. Two people want to rest, two people want to go shopping, or go get something to eat, snack. It's nice to have that built in so that you can do that rather than we do this at 8, this at 9, this at 10, and then there's just no time for anything else.
And by the way, if that's what floats your boat, then find another couple who wants to do that.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you might drive each other crazy.
I agree with
that would be something.
That does not sound like a good time for me.
But that was brilliant, Melissa. You planned one major event on most of the days, not on a travel day. If it was a big travel day, we didn't have anything planned. But on the days where we weren't traveling to and from Rome, or, to and from a big city, we did have one thing that was planned, a tour that we had planned in advance, or even the idea, we're just going to walk the city and see what we can see. But that was the plan for the day. So it could start when it wanted, end when it wanted, and there wasn't that pressure.
I think it speaks to the season of life that we're in. When I was in my 20s, I didn't have that feeling like I might be back here, or this might be the last time. So I want to see it all, want to do it all. Now I know it's a possibility I will return. I don't have to do it all. I just want to enjoy it.
So if the planner in our group is Melissa, a real positive to have a planner, then sharing the plan before the trip and getting input from everyone. That's another part of the recipe for a great trip. Well planned, talk to all the participants, make sure we're hitting the high notes.
Yeah, I think that the Trip It app played a huge part in that.
Yeah, that was
because
great.
you can invite people into that. And so whenever I would add something to the trip plan, everybody got notified. They could check on it.
Yeah, no, I found that I was surprised by how useful the Trip It was. And I think, Kelley, you had the same experience.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of anti-app, anti-technology to some extent. Like, it's tiresome a little bit to learn something new. And I recognized after our trip together, the big one where we used the Trip It, I didn't really understand it. I didn't understand its value. But going forward, when we plan our next trip together, I understand its value, and I see how I can utilize it more, so I can be more participatory as throwing things in there. I noticed you didn't have internet service. Scott's phone couldn't maintain a connection. And so there were times where we're like, well, where are we going? Well, if it had only been up to Melissa and she hadn't shared it on the trip, we would have been up a creek without a paddle. We'd have been making stuff up. But because she had shared that, I'm like, my phone's working. And so I opened up the Trip It and was able to click directly on, hey, this was a meal idea. Let me click on it. It took us right to the address, gave us instructions, linked with our map app. And I was able to guide our team, our party to the next destination and feel really proud about it too. Like, did it without a flaw. And I was super thankful for that.
Yeah, that worked out great.
And just being able to see the shared itinerary and everyone's on the same page instead of sending PDF files or something. I mean,
Exactly.
it was just a great app for that. But, one of the things that Melissa did starting out, found this app called Splitwise, which is a great way of having everyone who's in the party be able to record the money that maybe some people are making all the restaurant reservations and someone's handling all the airline reservations and someone else is doing the lodging. Well, everyone can enter what they've spent on the trip on behalf of the group in Splitwise, and then everyone can see, well, here's how much, here's what the balance is, here's who owes what to whom. And so that was really great.
And one thing I loved about it is because you guys know we like to use our credit cards to get points. And Scott and Kelley very graciously allowed us to go ahead and put everything on our card, and then they would reimburse us later.
That was her fee for doing all the
I was like, take my points, just plan the logistics, please. So it worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it, just going with the flow and just being willing to, being able to speak up and say things that are important to you, and everyone treats them as important to them too. And then the same way when there's maybe some stuff that isn't important to me that, hey, it's important to someone else, and we're gonna have a good time doing that too. I think it's kind of important to like the people that you travel with,
Yeah.
don't you think? I mean, otherwise it would be a drag. But if you like the people you're traveling with and you're compatible, oh my gosh, I think it makes the trip a lot more fun. Isn't that one of the things that stood out about the trip?
Oh,
for you?
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so grateful that, we shot the video we were doing because we provide content on YouTube, but to now be able to share our trip with people, and we've been able to relive our trip. That's been so fun.
Oh gosh. Well, they're shared memories. Well, thanks for letting us hang out with you and chat it up. It's
I
great
can't wait
being able
for
to.
our next adventure. Do you guys have any idea where we might go?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but it's going to be fun.
Traveling with friends isn't just about the places you go. It's about the memories you make along the way. Thank you, Scott and Kelley. We highly recommend both the TripIt app and the Splitwise app. This video was not sponsored. We appreciate you sticking with us to the end of this video. We share travel tips, packing videos, and tools for navigating the points and miles ecosystem. If this interests you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.